Welcome to another interesting episode of Centurions, where we bring you something man-made, either concrete or abstract, that has been in existence for 100 years. And this time around, we go across the pond, as they say, and this week it is the one and only Big Ben. All four nations of the UK are represented on the tower on shields, featuring a rose for England, thistle for Scotland, shamrock for Ireland, and leek for Wales. On the 31st of May 2009, celebrations were held to mark the tower's 150th anniversary. Big Ben is the largest of the tower's 5 bells and weighs 13.5 tons. It was the largest bell in the United Kingdom for 23 years. The origin of the bell's nickname is open to question. It may be named after Sir Benjamin Hall, who oversaw its installation, or heavyweight boxing champion Benjamin Conte. 4 quarter bells chime at 15, 30 and 45 minutes past the hour, and just before Big Ben tolls on the hour. The clock uses its original Victorian mechanism, but an electric motor can be used as a backup. The tower is a British cultural icon, recognized all over the world. It is one of the most prominent symbols of the United Kingdom in parliamentary democracy, and it is often used in the establishing shot of films set in London. The clock became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. On the 21st of August 2017, a 4-year schedule of renovation works began on the tower. Modifications have included adding a lift, reglazing and repainting the clock dials, and upgrading lighting and repairing roof tiles, among other improvements. With a few exceptions such as New Year's Eve and Remembrance Sunday, the bells remain silent. Elizabeth Tower, originally referred to as a clock tower but more popularly known as Big Ben, was raised as a part of Charles Barry's design for a new Palace of Westminster after the old palace was largely destroyed by fire on the 16th of October 1834. Although Barry was the chief architect of the neo-Gothic palace, he turned to Augustus Pugin for the design of the clock tower, which resembles earlier Pugin designs, including one for Scarisbrick Hall in Lancashire. Construction of the tower began on the 28th of September 1843. The building contractors were Thomas Grissel and Morton Peto. An inscribed trawl, now in the Parliamentary Archives, records that Emily, sister of Peto's daughter-in-law, was given the honor of laying the first stone. It was Pugin's last design before his descent into mental illness and death in 1852. Completed in 1859, the tower is designed in Pugin's Gothic Revival style and is 316 feet high, making it the 3rd tallest clock tower in the UK. Its dials are 150 feet above ground level. The tower's base is square, measuring 40 feet on each side, resting on concrete foundations 12 feet thick. It was constructed using bricks clad on the exterior with sand-colored Aston limestones from South Yorkshire, topped by spire covered in hundreds of cast iron roof tiles. There is a spiral staircase with 290 stone steps up to the clock room, followed by 44 to reach the belfry, and an additional 59 to the top of the spire. Above the belfry and Arton light are 52 shields decorated with national emblems of the 4 countries of the UK. The red and white rose for England's Tudor dynasty, the thistle of Scotland, shamrock of Northern Ireland, and leek of Wales. They also feature the pomegranate of Catherine of Aragon, first wife of the Tudor King Henry VIII. The portcullis, symbolizing both houses of parliament, and fleur-de-lis, a legacy from when English monarchs claimed to rule France. A ventilation shaft running from ground level up to the belfry, which measures 16 feet by 8 feet, was designed by David Boswell Reed, known as the grandfather of air conditioning. It was intended to draw cool, fresh air into the Palace of Westminster. In practice, this did not work, and the shaft was repurposed as a chimney until around 1914. The 2017 to 2021 conservation works included the addition of a lift or elevator that was installed in the shaft. The foundations rest on a layer of gravel, below which is London clay. Owing to this soft ground, the tower leans slightly to the northwest by roughly 230 millimeters. This includes a planned maximum of 22 millimeters increased tilt due to tunneling for the Jubilee line extension. Experts believe the tower's lean will not be a problem for another 4,000 to 10,000 years. On the 2nd of June 2012, the House of Commons voted in support of a proposal to change the name from the Clock Tower to Elizabeth Tower in commemoration of Elizabeth II in her Diamond Jubilee. Since the large West Tower, now known as Victoria Tower, had been renamed in tribute to Queen Victoria on the occasion of her Diamond Jubilee, on the 26th of June 2012, the House of Commons confirmed that the name change would go ahead. David Cameron, then Prime Minister, officially announced the change of name on the 12th of September 2012. The change was marked by a naming ceremony in which John Bercow, then Speaker of the House of Commons, unveiled a plaque attached to the tower on the adjoining Speaker's Green. Inside the tower is an oak-paneled prison room, which can only be accessed from the House of Commons, not via the tower entrance. It was last used in 1880 when atheist Charles Bradlaugh, newly elected Member of Parliament from Northampton, was imprisoned by the Sergeant-at-Arms after he protested against swearing a religious oath of allegiance to Queen Victoria. Officially, the Sergeant-at-Arms can still make arrests, as they have had the authority to do so since 1415. The room, however, is currently occupied by the Petitions Committee, which oversees petitions submitted to Parliament. A new feature was added in 1873 by Acton Smee Arton, then First Commissioner of Works and Public Buildings. The Arton light is a lantern sited above the belfry and is lit whenever the House of Commons sits after dark. It can be seen from across London. Originally, it shone towards Buckingham Palace so Queen Victoria could look out of a window and see when the Commons were at work. Augustus Pugin drew inspiration from the clockmaker Benjamin Louis Vuillaume when he designed the dials. Each is made of cast iron sections bolted together. The whole frame is 22.5 feet in diameter, making them the third largest in the UK. They each contain 324 pieces of opalescent glass. The designers were the lawyer and amateur horologist Edmund Beckett Dennison and George Airy, the astronomer royal. Construction was entrusted to clockmaker Edward John Dent. After his death in 1853, his stepson Frederick Dent completed the work in 1854. As the tower was not completed until 1859, Dennison had time to experiment before installation in April that year. On the 10th of May 1941, a German bombing raid damaged two of the clock's dials and sections of the tower's stepped roof and destroyed the House of Commons chamber. Architect Sir Giles Gilbert Scott designed a new 5-floor block. 2 floors are occupied by the current chamber, which was used for the first time on the 26th of October 1950. The clock ran accurately and chimed throughout the blaze. From the 21st of August 1877 to January 1878, the clock was stopped for 3 weeks to allow the tower and mechanism to be cleaned and repaired. February 1900, the heavy buildup of snow on the clock face impeded the progress of the hour hand, causing the clock to stop for about 8 hours. And that's all we have for you today about Big Ben, the big social, cultural landmark of the UK. And if you ever are in London and you look up, just remember that the Big Ben is over 100 years old. My name is Dmitri. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Bye for now.